Hunter Biden is just a giant mess. I mean, it's crazy. I would say the whole Biden family is a mess. Most corrupt, one of the most corrupt families in this country, next to the Clintons, I believe. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store where I have I Will Not Comply t-shirts as well. All right, let's talk about this news. Um, when Hunter Biden flew with Vice President Biden on Air Force Two to China the week after he came home, he inked a deal for $1.3 billion with the National Bank of Communist China, a deal that JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs could never have gotten. Sebastian Gorka, who served as an advisor to Trump during his presidency, said on a Newsmax show, Rob Smith Tonight on Tuesday. Gorka continued and said, "So, my question is, what deal is Hunter Biden going to get from Irish billionaire next week?" It's a great question. I'm sure something's coming. That's the whole reason why they went out there. But Hunter Biden has become an albatross for the president due to his close association with corrupt Ukrainian gas firm Burisma and his alleged work with the Chinese military intelligence linked to CEFC Energy. And I've done tons of videos on CEFC Energy. Joe Biden denies having anything to do with Hunter's business dealings, and that is incredulous. Emails from Hunter Biden's laptop show he was promised a 10% cut of money from a CEFC energy deal. The deal sought to help the Chinese firm obtain business in the gas industry in Louisiana and Texas. Hunter's business partners were also regular White House visitors. Quote, "I've seen firsthand that's not true because it wasn't just Hunter's business. They said they're putting the Biden family name and his legacy on the line." Former Hunter Biden business partner Anthony Bublowski told the New York Post, "Quote, I don't have a political axe to grind. I just saw behind the Biden curtain, and I grew concerned with what I saw. The Biden family aggressively leveraged the Biden family's name to make millions of dollars from foreign entities, even though some were from communist-controlled China." And you know, I've talked about Buba Blinsky for years now, and I don't even know if he's even been interviewed by the FBI yet for what he knows, and the FBI probably would never interview him because we know the FBI is caping for the Bidens. And Hunter Biden admits that Burisma would not have added him to his board in April 2014 if his name had been Smith, which is a surprise admission. And Burisma executives wanted a conduit to his father, the then vice president of the United States. And Burisma board advisor Vadim Pozharskyi emailed Hunter Biden's business partner Devin Archer, suggested that no announcement of Hunter Biden's joining of the Burisma board should be made right away. Quote, as the to the HB, I do believe that we have to reach reasonable balance here. I realize fully that his role, as well as role of AK, is of long-term perspective and taking into account the political weight of our directors. We have to use their personality carefully and strategically wise. I do realize the vulnerability in this respect, Paul Zagarsky wrote in an April 2014 email. Therefore, I kindly suggest to Indeed now or after his father left our country, just put him on our website without going for public camping. In some sense, we cannot hide our directors. So this is basically saying let's try to hide them, but hide them in plain sight, basically. So let's hide them, but not promote them, because they know the backlash that the, Hunter Biden would get from the business deal, and they know how this stuff actually looks. Now, Archer met with the vice president the day before on April 16, 2014. A photo of the two men together appeared on Burisma's website, and Archer strove to get Burisma to delete it due to the message it was sending. So, what did Joe Biden get? What did he really get? Former White House stenographer, and I've done a whole video on this, but we're just gonna encapsulate. We're gonna talk a little bit about it. Mike McCormick alleges that the then vice president participated in a kickback scheme during the Ukraine trip. McCormick was an eyewitness. Quote, in February, I went to the FBI and filed one of their tips on their website. If you do that and you're lying to them, you go to jail. I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth, and I'm not going to jail, McCormick said Thursday. Joe Biden is a criminal. He was conducting malfeasance in office to enrich his family. Jake Sullivan is a conspirator in that, and there's more. Obama officials involved in it, I believe. Sullivan alleged criminality took place on April 18th, 2014, while commenting aboard Air Force Two on the way to Ukraine. The then State Department official told reporters that the U.S. government would help Ukraine with fracking to obtain hard to get gas reserves. Burisma fracking profits dramatically increased after the trip. And y'all know how I feel about that. Joe Biden don't think it's okay for us to frack here in the United States, but it's okay to frack in Burisma because he's getting a kickback. Proving criminality here in a court of law could be more difficult because it would require proving the then vice president had criminal intent. McCormick assertion falls a little bit short of that, though, to be honest. But the optics of it is really what was wrong here. And Pozharskyi met Joe Biden together with a Kazakh businessman in April 2015, and Hunter Biden at a Georgetown's Cafe Milano. Sorry. So CEFC in China, the real Biden is that the real Biden problem? The CEFC energy deal is likely more damaging to the Biden family because it involves the receipt of millions of dollars from a company whose head, Yi Jianming, had clear involvement in a front for Chinese military intelligence. Yi had been Deputy Secretary General of the China Association for International Friendly Contracts, CAIFC. The U.S. China Economic Security and Review Commission stated that the CAIFC, quote, performs dual roles of intelligence collection and conducting propaganda and perception management campaigns, and that it is a, quote, platform for deploying undercover intelligence gatherers. This is the people that the Bidens are working with. And Hunter Biden's business partner and Yi associate Patrick Ho had been subject to a FISA investigation, and Hunter personally identified him as the spy chief of China. Senator Charles Grassley wrote in a November 2021 letter to Attorney General Merrick asking for information about Ho, noting the fact a FISA warrant was issued indicated, quote, his potential counterintelligence threat to the United States. Again, these are the people that the Bidens are working with. And that suggests Hunter Biden knew who he was dealing with and was indifferent to it. Most Americans would end contact with the business run by foreign spies if they were to become aware of it, but not the Bidens. Former CIA station chief Sam Faddis, who recruited foreign spies for the U.S., believes the evidence suggests Hunter likely was compromised by Chinese intelligence. He also worries the president might also be compromised. The appearance of a conflict of interest might as well be a conflict of interest itself because it raises questions of impartiality. Again, optics. So what happens now? That's the big question. The Biden deals clearly stink to high heaven. However, the criminality of those deals is an open question that needs to be settled. No matter what happens, Congress needs to close the loopholes. Congress should expand existing conflict of interest laws that apply to federal employees to cover the appearance of a conflict of interest, to cover family members of the president and vice president. You would think that would already be the case, but it should also require a review of foreign business dealings by the family members by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence to ensure they are free from involvement by a foreign intelligence agency. Whether the person's name is Trump, Kushner, Biden, or belong to some future first or second families, they should be legally prevented from profiting from their family ties. I think it's disgusting. A Biden president should be used as an impetus to close whatever legal loopholes exist for corruption at the highest level. So something really needs to be done, I believe. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and check out democrapublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.